Yo, what's good, YouTube? I'm back on my grind here. I got a little video for y'all. So, if y'all know, Bernice Burgos basically went on a podcast, said some things to say. I'm going to play both clips because it's really about the money thing that she was talking about in the clubs. And she kind of exaggerated the first clip. I ain't going front, but I got a second clip for y'all. But yeah, it's not really crazy to me. I see a lot of people freaking out about it on the internet. Sorry I was late to it, but I'm back now.
I was only working there only on a Sunday. Coming home. I don't like to talk like I'm cocky and stuff like that. Just coming home with $8,000. Good days.
Bartending?
Yes.
That's why I say y'all ruined it for the scripters.
No, they made their money too because I was the type of person like 1,000.
Was how much?
30,000.
On a slow night.
As you can see from Bernice Burgos, she was a star tender, was a bartender at that time in New York where like shit was really popping. And okay, 30K, 10K. It's a difference, but it's not that crazy of a difference. Plus, at that time, I'm going to be honest, you could damn near make that much money at that time. Like, you could make a lot of money back then. Like, niggas was really dropping bags like that back then. And you got to understand, it was a different time. Even 10K today a night is crazy. 10K a night is crazy even today. Like, niggas not bowling like that no more. Like, most bartenders I know get up to, like, 3K, probably, like, 4 on a good night. Like, you got to understand, this was the early 90s, like 90s going 80s going into the 90s. Like, this was a crazy time. Like, the crack era was popping, niggas was selling, you feel me? The ballers was really balling in New York. Like, I ain't saying the young niggas not balling, but we wasn't balling like the old niggas was balling. And it's really more of a she exaggerated the numbers a little bit, but it's still like, you gotta understand, back then niggas was making $500K a week off of just selling straight work. Like, that was a different time in New York. That was a era. Everybody was on crack. Everybody was, feel me? Niggas was wilding the fuck out. A lot of, like, things was overly cheap. Niggas was making crazy money. Like, niggas was damn near niggas was making generational wealth and spending that shit, just throwing that shit in the club. A nigga would go make, let's say he'll make $2 million in like a couple of weeks. He'd throw half of that shit in the club. Like, on some wild shit. Like, that was the time. Like, that's when niggas was really hustling, doing wild shit. Like, crack was booming so much. It was a lot going on. The business was crazy. It had the black community in shambles. It looked like, I'm not even going front, the 80s and 90s, it was like a precursor to the destruction that's going right now in the community. So the after effects of all that money and all that pain, and it hindered the fuck out of us as a community. But you got to understand, at that time, niggas in New York was balling. So she's saying 10K, even 8K, 10K, 30K. That's not crazy, especially in that time. You got to remember, Bernice Burgos been doing this shit for years. Like, she been, you feel me? She been one of them video vixen, beautiful girls that niggas been wanting to tag. The whole universe want to tag. Niggas be tender. You think drug dealers not gonna throw some free money at shorty? Like, come on, like, niggas, everybody trying to get her rep. And most of these niggas, it's not really about wordplay or whatever. It's just the money talk. And the money do talk. How do I tell you? Because I feel she's only dated baller niggas, so that it speaks for yourself. The money talks. But she not lying at all, bro. Niggas back then was really making that type of bread. Like, it was really a different world in New York. If you know, like, niggas was really breaded the fuck up. Like, today, niggas, like, drug era slowed down. A lot of things slowed down. Shit not like it used to be. But back then, them niggas was making that type of money. Like, well, niggas was really balling the fuck out, going to clubs, throwing money like that. That shit don't exist now. It don't exist like that. But yeah, it's not too crazy. Like, people acting like this shit is crazy. Like, oh my God. Yeah, she inflated the numbers a little bit, but just 8K in the club every night? Niggas ain't doing that shit right now. I'm sorry. A lot of girls not doing that shit right now. Y'all not. That was a different era. Niggas was really balling the fuck out back then. Like, it was a different time. The drug era was crazy, crack era. Even the scammers right now can't even compare to that shit. Like, niggas are scamming, but you can never compare to that shit. Come on. You can never compare to that shit, gang. Like, even the scamming era in New York was crazy, but it can't compare to that crack era. That's why you see so many old niggas, they talk about the crack era like they talk about, like how white people talk about the roaring 20s. That's exactly why, because them niggas was balling out they fucking mind, and they was selling drugs, realizing they was destroying their own people, CIA. We can get into that lore. We don't have to go into the whole lore, but we know. We know. CIA, COINTELPRO, we know niggas flooded their own community, destroyed their own community. But it is what it is. But yeah, she's not lying about making that money. There was definitely nights she was probably making some crazy shit. There was probably a couple nights she damn near made 60, 70, like she said. Like, you gotta believe it, gang. Niggas was wilding back then. And it's crazy. All that money is done. Like, most of those niggas never did anything. I don't know 2 niggas that was selling drugs like that and actually made something out of themselves. Most of them niggas, they burnt out, their money gone, they sat in prison for decades, they lost their houses, seized everything, money gone. Some of them niggas, they done lost their mind, got high off their own supply. Like, yeah, a lot of drug dealers actually failed. That shit did more harm than it did good, but that's all I really gotta say though. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm gonna see you on the next YouTube video. Peace.
Got a lot to get off my chest. These niggas move funny but never correct. I never mind it cause they don't know the trauma of niggas slipping, trying to catch one of breath. Think to myself, not right in the head. I keep it passive but get pushed to the edge. And when I'm started, I just want niggas dead. Gasping for air cause my foot on they necks, nigga. Bitch calling up my phone, went straight to the tone. Too bad that she fucked on the eye. Keep some shit on my hip, no lie. Gotta watch it for pics. 13th always stay on my car. And these niggas that swear that they live in the life they don't live in a minute, start talking the car. In the south, better get up and get it or turn to a victim ass nigga with piss and no pie. Niggas tripping, you can get it with me. Always keep the city hollows, leaving terror on block. Ripping kidneys on those who envy, got a gut feeling you ain't seeing tomorrow. Shots ringing in the top, screeching, flowing in the secret shit, repeating a lot. Blood cleaning from coagulation from the ones that's taken, but they never forgot.